Welcome back to our Off the Beaten Path series. We're standing on Berdan Avenue, which is one of the less traveled avenues. It's right off Confederate Avenue in Pitzer's Woods. So if you're familiar with West Confederate Avenue, you're coming down Seminary Ridge, you're going to make a right-hand turn just before you get to Pitzer's Woods, where the Longstreet Memorial is. And this is the site of a skirmish or a clash on July 2nd between Colonel Hiram Berdan's Union sharpshooters and Confederates under the command of Brigadier General Cadmus Wilcox. So on the morning of July 2nd, 1863, the Union Army is positioning itself on Cemetery Ridge, down kind of into the peach orchard and the wheat field. John Buford's cavalry brigade, two brigades under John Buford's cavalry, are situated in the peach orchard, and at some point on the morning of July 2nd, that cavalry withdraws, leaving Daniel Sickles' 3rd Corps to assume that position. And Sickles is concerned about the woods in front of him on Seminary Ridge, and he speculates that there are Confederates in those woods. So he orders a reconnaissance team under the command of Hiram Berdan, his sharpshooters in the green uniforms, which they actually discard on their way to Gettysburg in July 1863. Sickles orders those sharpshooters and the regiment, the 3rd Maine Regiment, to advance to Seminary Ridge and kind of conduct a reconnaissance in force to see how many Confederates are actually on Seminary Ridge in this area. So around noon on July 2nd, Berdan brings his men out here, a few companies of Vermont sharpshooters, and they advance over Seminary Ridge and through Pitzer's Woods, and they begin to engage the Alabamians under Cadmus Wilcox, who are coming from my front. And the sharpshooters actually put up a pretty formidable fight against the Alabamians. And they realize that there's more than just a few Confederates out here. There's at least a brigade, if not the entire Confederate army. So once Berdan realizes that he's kind of done all he can do, he withdraws the sharpshooters back to the peach orchard area, and he reports to a staff officer under General Birney, who is with the 3rd Corps, that there are indeed enemy troops directly across the field from the peach orchard. So that information is going to give Sickles the kind of the last straw, if you will, and that's when he decides that it's too dangerous to let the peach orchard ground fall to the Confederates, and he determines that it's necessary to seize that small high ground at the peach orchard since a Confederate attack is imminent, coming around the left flank of the Union Army from these woods, Seminary Ridge, out here. So this is a nice area here, Berdan Avenue, named for Colonel Hiram Berdan, who's from New York. Gettysburg is kind of the end of his career. He goes back to New York to do some recruiting after the battle, but he's not called back to any kind of active service afterwards. But this is a Park Service Avenue, just like any Union Avenue that you would see, Hancock Avenue, Sickles Avenue, and there's a few monuments out here, one to the 3rd Maine, a couple monuments to the sharpshooters, and a place that not many visitors to Gettysburg come and visit.